Hi, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching with Academy Sports Coach 2023. I want to talk to you about a session that I've designed today that revolves around defending crosses or defending balls from the wide area. So the first drill that I have here is just a pattern that we're going to do. You maybe set up 4 of these at a time. You can even do up to 6 depending on the goals you have and the staff you have and the level of players. But here we're just going to work on what we're looking for and what reads we're looking at when we're defending a player that's looking to prepare to cross. Now, the first concept I teach my players is you have the red area, you have the yellow area, and you have the green area. So red would be out here, yellow's here, and then we're getting past here, we're getting more green. So when we're defending and attacking, I talk about getting red, getting yellow, getting green. We want to get green because green is closer to goal, and the closer we are to goal, the higher percentage we are going to have of finding a scoring opportunity. So yellow is kind of moderate danger. Red is we're in low danger. We don't want to dive in here. If red, we don't want to cross. We want to cut back or cut to the end line and find something there, whatever it may be. Yellow, we're hey, it's read it. You see someone open, maybe play a pass. Hey, maybe we're trying to get a little bit better positioning here. From the defensive standpoint, red, we're standing off. Yellow, we're making our decision here. What kind of player is it? What's the situation? And green, we're gonna be reading them and making sure they can't get something off. Basically, it's helping us determine the depth away from the attacker that we are. So we're gonna have a coach or a goalie here play a ball down to the player in black, who's going to get on the ball. Now here they're green. So I'm going to talk about, and this is kind of up to you and what you want to do in these situations, but I want my player here to force down to the end line. The goalie's here, and we have a guy stepping to cover the ball back, the low hard ball back to the middle of the pitch. So we're kind of jamming them and recognizing that's what the only option they have, and we're going to try to defend it. Now, you might not want that because you don't feel that your players can defend it. Maybe you want them to cut it back. Maybe the kid can't shoot on his right. But now you're going to talk to him here about, let's put our body on their right side, force them over to the other side. Our body facing them is on the right, so we're going to make them cut back and make a decision here. So we're talking about footwork, we're talking about where they are on the field, we're talking about diving in, all those kind of things. We're really focused on just the nitty gritty of it. So from here, we're going to build this drill up and make it a little quicker. Maybe we have something here where we just have another defender and another attacker in the box. And they're running around. So as this goes on, they have to stay within the box, and they're looking, he's marking, he's working on runs. He's working that if, let's say this player gets down here, they do cut to the end line, they are beat their defender. We're talking about sliding here. We're going to institute the concept of pressure and cover, because what's going to happen is in this situation, your job is either to mark out this player, but if the player here is able to cut to the end line and go around this player, whatever, we need to make sure a shot doesn't come off. So this player, we're talking about scanning the field, about keeping a hand on the attacking player, making sure we know where they all are at all times. But being aware that we might be called in action here to slide and cover in and make sure that this player isn't able to get an easy shot to the near post, or cut back here and find, what I like to call the St. Maximin angle, where they're coming back in and finding something on the right foot. So we're working on those concepts. Now what we'll do here is we'll set it up so there's 2 of these grids going at the same time. We can, have a line here and here. We'll start with these players here. So same thing. We go play the ball down here. All right. We play here, and this player, we're able to close the angle down. They get a poor shot. They put side netting. We limit the options here. Okay. So anyway, one more player. So we ran it once live with these 4 players. Next, what will happen is we'll play another ball on the opposite side here. These players that were just in will jump off, and these players will go. And similar situation here. Now these 2 players who were just the active participants that received the drill, now they're going to slide in and be the attacking options. So this way, we've kind of worked it where we've sped up the tempo of it. In the first iteration of the drill, we're working on technique, we're working on reads, we're working on the nitty gritty of just 1v1 defending out wide. Next, we're instituting a cover guy. We're making decisions. How are we moving them based on the cover? How where is the cover? Is the cover we're looking to because of the positioning? They're out yellow. Maybe we're looking for a cross more. We're not. Hey, I've got time. I'm going to stick my man mark a little closer. They get cut into green. We're talking about, hey, here you're going to cut off the passing lane, and you still have to be turning your heads and your bodies because you want to make sure they can't play an easy pass there, but you also have to be able to slide and cover. In red, we're man marking. You're maybe thinking about, our counterattack from here. So we're talking about those things. Now what we've got here with this particular drill is we've got them, high reps. After you're done, you're not just done. Okay, the ball goes out, they score, whatever it is. Now you're working to, based on the positioning of the two players that are going on the outside here, and where this attacking run's making, you're making decisions, and it's pretty fluid, and it's going to be different every single time. So it's making it much more decision-based, much more realistic drill. So from there, what we'll do is I would have a goal here and maybe a halfway line. I would add goalies and 3 different teams. This might take a second. Every time, just freeze every time I go back to 2, 3, 4. It's froze. So what we're going to do in this drill is we're going to have a 4v4 going in this grid, and we're going to promote the wide areas. Maybe we even put a couple bumper players out wide if you want. If you have maybe a couple extras, numbers on them add up, where you have maybe a goalie here, maybe a neutral player out here that can enter play and be that crossing player to create a situation where there's more crossing, or if you can trust them, make it just normal, make it a little more game-like. Maybe start with the neutrals to force it the wide areas, and then you cut out the neutrals and you play natural, and so they can't jump the drill. They're not jumping the wide area. They know that they need to maybe work a little harder to cut off the shot at the middle as well. And what we have in the other area here is another team. So after black is able to score, they then come over here and they tackle. Or if yellow is able to defend it, they counter out of here. And we're trying to make it a little more game-like. We're seeing high reps, but we're repeating over and over again the concept of defending the wide areas. Okay, so you're seeing that over and over again. I think depending if you're not getting it, I'd put out the bumpers, or even start with the bumpers and then work towards removing the bumpers. But I think at the end you should try to remove the bumpers and try to see and assess basically how well your guys were able to kind of read the situation live, rather than be kind of, here's what's going to happen. It's going to go to the wide areas. Now, now it's out to the wide areas. Now you have to remember those things instead of, just kind of jumping it. You have to be worried about the options up the middle. And then you just kind of go back and forth with this. And what I build out from here then is a scrimmage in which the players are, just playing naturally and seeing if we get these wide areas. And you're going to see these. This is one of the situations where you're going to see it a lot more than you would normally. So maybe more of like a nitty-gritty, detailed moment that you're trying to teach. This one you'll see wide areas, and you'll see defending crosses, and we'll see 1v1s outside, and you'll get to assess basically how well you were able to implement your players' ability to make the reads in the situations, but also the technical aspects we focus on in the first part of the drill. So once again, the session's for defending crosses and defending the wide areas. And my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching, and I help Academy Sports Coach 2023. I hope the session finds you well.